Kenny, we're talking about the West there, mentioned Alabama. Since your buddy left LSU, they moved up to number 2 in the West now.
Since my buddy left LSU?
Left LSU,
They've moved up to number 2 in the West. Talking about Nick Saban?
No, I'm talking about basketball. Remember, this is we're talking basketball. Did I lose you somewhere during the timeout, son?
No. I thought maybe when you said Alabama, you said LSU has moved up to number 2. Since they've got rid of my guy, man. I was watching football here on ESPN. But LSU's got a new coach down there, right?
Yeah, your buddy, he's gone.
John Brady.
Yeah. You know, we kind of talked about him a little bit over the years. I thought that he a little bit underachieved with the talents that he's had, but they got the guy that's coming in from Stanford now that's supposed to be a really good recruit and did a good job at was it Nevada before he got
That's
to
right. He is
Stanford.
He is coming in from Stanford, isn't he?
Yeah, he's coming. He was a couple years out at Stanford and supposed to be a really good recruiter, plays a really exciting style of play and if he can recruit really within the state of Louisiana and maybe the border states there, he should be able to build a pretty good program down there because we see it all the time in football. You know, they have some really good athletes in that state of Louisiana. So if he can come in and just do a good job of recruiting, I think over the next couple of years, he should be pretty good.
Gary, you might, last year, I guess it was last year, we went to LSU. Kenny and I, Kentucky was playing at LSU, and we went down, and it was NBA weekend at New Orleans. So all the NBA All-Stars were in. A lot of other NBA players like Skyman were in there. And at the ball game, we looked up, and here came Shaquille O'Neal and his old coach. Help me, Skyman.
Dale Brown.
In. O'Neal had come down from the All-Star break to go get his old coach and bring him over to the ball game. And Kenny Skywalker, outside of Shaquille O'Neal, may be Dale Brown's favorite player in the world. I mean, he treats him like a son. They're inseparable.
Well,
so Kenny and I are sitting there.
See, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Dale Brown has great love for Kenny Walker. Trust me. I'm not being facetious on that one. I mean, you can't separate them when they're together. So Kenny and I, we're sitting there, and all of a sudden somebody says, Skywalker. And I look up and up and up and up, and it's Shaq. And he sat down. Kenny introduced me, and I'm sitting between them. You can picture that. Some of the guys at the UK media place, media people covering University of Kentucky, happened to see it on TV, and they had some comments to make about it. But anyhow, I was in for one of the many surprises that I go through with sports people in my life and have gone through. He's really a nice guy, Shaq is.
Yes, he is.
He was so respectful to Kenny, so nice. Contrary to a dinner at the same place. I mean, there he is. He's running with Shaq and D. Brown,
who we saw play a few games.
Yeah, and all those other guys. The big man's party, they took him to.
Yeah, we saw Yao Ming and Mutombo, Alonzo Mourning. It was
all those guys. They know the sky and everything. Okay, Bill Dummy from the Detroit Pistons.
Bill Lambier.
Yeah, he comes into the restaurant. Kenny and I are having dinner. And they seat Bill and his wife and another couple at the table right next to us. I said, Kenny, there's that guy who played for the Pistons. He looked around and said, yeah, that's Lambier. Kenny gets up and shakes hands with him and says, hey, Kenny Walker. He said, yeah, Kenny, how are you? And this is my wife, whatever her name was. And sat down and sat within 4 feet of Kenny Walker for the whole dinner, never spoke to him again.
Well, Kenny, he must have had something else on his mind.
Well, Gary,
no, I know. I think it's just him. I really got upset. I wanted to go over with Kenny behind me and let him know how upset I was.
Well, that's.
I mean, you talking about a Georgia boy down there pick peaches.
Gary West was upset, and I had to calm him down. I had to remind him that Bill Laimbeer was probably, if he wasn't the most hated guy in the NBA during the time that we played during that era, he was probably in the top 2 or 3. And a lot of guys really didn't really talk to him and get along with him outside of his teammates.
So he had a reputation to uphold.
Well, yeah, but he could have been more respectable. It could have shown Kenny a lot more respect than what he did.
Kenny and
Laimbeer was never as good as Kenny Walker.
No. Number of years ago, Kenny.
Well, I appreciate that, Wes.
Our listeners, we were in an airport and we ran across a couple of these wrestlers from the WWF, wrestling, whatever it was, and Vince McMahon. And Wes was talking to him and went off, and I was doing something else. And I walked over to him, and they didn't know me from an ear of corn.
It was a tag team.
It was a tag team. 2 of them sitting there, and I walked
young guys.
Up. Yeah, they didn't know me. Wes sitting there talking to him, and I walked over to Wes.
One of them looked bad,
and I said, "Wes, are these 2 guys giving you any trouble?" And I realized real quick that I had made the wrong statement. And they one of them kind of stood up,
that had
and
one eye looking different way
was
really upset.
Very few times in my life that I thought I was going to get smacked in the face, and that was one of them. But you know what I told Wes? The further I got away from him, the madder I got.
Spoken like a very smart man.
Man, we found him on that airplane. I said, I'm really mad now on the airplane.
Kenny can tell you that that happened to us in Knoxville. After we left that game, I was really upset with that.
That police officer.
That police officer
that would not let you turn in down to go and park in the media parking.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to have to really get out and really be Wes's bodyguard for real that night. He was upset. That police officer told him he couldn't go in there, and Wes said, "I parked in there last year. That's where I'm supposed to be." And Wes was determined to park in there. So.
And Wes, one of his specialties, Kenny, is a U-turn.
And he went to the top of the hill and made one of those and came back and went where he was supposed to go.
I have U-turned with him about half the towns in America.
Those in Texas don't count because they're man-made U-turns. Remember you told me that?
Yeah,
down there in McAllen, Texas, those man-made U-turns.
They allowed you to do that.
They don't count. All right, Kenny Skywalker. We're having fun. I don't know if we're accomplishing a whole lot other than having a lot of fun. No. Incidentally, the Hilltopper football team is off this weekend, Gary. This is open date, and the next game is homecoming on November the 1st. We're going to have a Hall of Fame induction ceremony. 2 coaches are going in, 2 good friends of ours.
Okay, who are
Paul Sanford and Jack Harbaugh.
Well,
isn't that wonderful?
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Sanford, a neighbor of mine.
Yep, he is.
So,
that's
right.
right.
Across the street, yeah.
So, everybody, W Club does that. So everybody start making your plans, and let's have a major crowd at homecoming on Saturday, November the 1st it is.
That'd be nice.
Back to basketball with Kenny Skywalker. One more commercial break, Sky Man.
I can do it, Wes. I'm going to hold on, and man, I've come this far. I can't quit on you guys.
Boy, I've got a major question for you when we come out of this commercial break.
Okay.
So be thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm going to use this commercial break to get ready for it because I know if you got one for me, it's going to be good.
Okay. All right. Stand by. We'll be right back.